Honoraria.
Yeah.
Trader, 24, 21. 8115.
Okay, thank you.
We on the record? All right. This is the 8 a.m. initial appearance calendar. I'm going to call you in individually. You'll state your name and date of birth. I will tell you what you've been booked on and whether an attorney has been appointed to represent you. I'm also going to give you the date of your next court appearance. I will let you know whether you're eligible for a bond or not. Now, if it's a secured bond, that means you can go through a bonding company. Phone numbers for the various bonding companies are located in that jail area. You can call any one of them. They will accept collect calls. If it's a cash bond, then you have to pay the entire amount of the bond. I'm also going to tell you if I've set any release conditions, like no returning to the alleged scene of the crime or no contact with the alleged victim. You need to follow each and every condition if you want to stay released. Let me remind you, if you've been ordered by a court not to have contact with the victim and then you do so, you may be charged with an additional felony. When you come in the courtroom, please be aware this is all being video recorded. So do not talk about the facts of your case, as you have the right to remain silent. As you leave the courtroom, court staff right there is going to give you your paperwork. That's going to show you your charges, your attorney information, where, when, what time your next court date is, whether you're eligible for a bond or not, and then it will have a list of your release conditions. Purpose of this hearing is to determine whether you're eligible for a bond or not. That decision is based on your past criminal history, any failures to appear, your current charges, and Arizona law. And finally, for the record, the orders for fingerprinting and the taking of DNA samples that were made on the first calendar of March 2025 shall apply to all matters on this calendar. Ionella Rodriguez, come on in the courtroom, and then Philip Gear to the chair outside the courtroom.
Ionella Rodriguez, number 2384.
Okay. You've got 4 matters. The first one is an arrest warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. You already have an attorney on this case. Your next hearing is going to be a disposition on March 21st at 8:30. And pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. The second one is another arrest warrant. This is, again, for your probation that you're on for a Class 4, Class 6, and another Class 6 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a disposition, March 21st at 8:30. And again, pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Then you have another arrest warrant. This is for 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony. You already have a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be a status conference, March 21st at 8:30. And pursuant to Arizona law, because you missed your sentencing, you'll be held non-bailable. And then lastly, you've got a Superior Court new case. This alleges 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, 1 count of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, March 21st at 8:30. I'm also setting an evidentiary hearing for March 24th at 1:30. So since you were out on release on another felony, pursuant to Arizona law 4.2A7A, you cannot bond out. You're going to be held non-bailable. But you do get an opportunity to challenge that. That's going to be at that evidentiary hearing on the 24th of March. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Philip Gear, come on in. Christopher Usick to the chair outside the courtroom. All right, sir, state your name and date of birth.
Philip Gear, 12/13/89.
All right, you have 4 matters. 3 of them are probation violations. You're on probation for 3 Class 4 felonies. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, and 7. I've appointed a lawyer on each of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, March 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held no bond, non-bailable. Now, the next one that you have is a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of possession of narcotic drug, Class 4 felony, 1 count of possession of drug paraphernalia, 1 count of resisting arrest. Those are both Class 6 felonies. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, March 21st at 8:30, set a $2,500 bond. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Christopher, come on in. Elijah Jones to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Christopher John Usick, 3/5/1991.
All right, you have 2 matters. They're both probation violations. You're on probation for 2 Class 6 felonies. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer on both of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, March 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you'll be held non-bailable. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Elijah Jones, come on in. And then Uriel Dominguez to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Elijah Christopher Jones, 1/30/95.
All right, you have 4 matters. You're on probation. They're all probation violations. You're on probation for 2 Class 6 felonies and 2 Class 4 felonies. Probation is alleging you violated terms 3, 5, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer on all 4 of these to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, March 24th at 8:30. Pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 7.2C, you're going to be held non-bailable on all 4 of these. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Uriel Dominguez, come on in. Araya Linville to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
My name is Uriel Jr. Dominguez, date of birth October 28, 1992.
All right, you're here on 2 probation violations. You're on probation for a Class 4 and a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3, 5, 7, and 15. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, March 24th at 8:30. Set a $2,000 bond on each. If you post these 2 bonds, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Araya, come on in. Arturo Serta to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Ray Linville, October 31st of 91.
You have a Superior Court probation violation warrant for your probation that you're on for a Class 6 felony. Probation is alleging you violated term 3 and 5. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, possible disposition, March 24th at 8:30. Set a $1,200 bond. If you post that bond, you must contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Get your paperwork. Mr. Serta, come on in. Tracy Patterson to the chair outside the courtroom. All right, state your name and date of birth.
Duro Serto, 52590.
All right, you have a municipal court warrant for one count of disorderly conduct, class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, March 26th at 1 o'clock. I've set a $500 bond. Get your paperwork from the court staff. Tracy Patterson, come on in. Kevin, carry on to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Tracy Patterson, 9490.
All right, you've got a Superior Court new case alleging one count of attempted child or vulnerable adult abuse, class 4 felony, and one count of attempted endangerment, class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, March 31st at 8:30. I'm going to release you to pretrial services. You cannot have any contact with the alleged victims or your co-defendant. Got it? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Kevin, come on in. Israel Nolesko to the chair outside the courtroom. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Kevin Carrion, 09/26/1996.
You have a Peoria Municipal Court warrant for one count of reckless driving, class 2 misdemeanor. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, April 3rd at 9 a.m. I'm going to give you an opportunity to go get this taken care of. I'm going to release you on your promise to go to court.
Thank you.
Get your paperwork.
Thank you so much.
Israel, come on in. And then Brittany Bachstein to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Israel Pete Nolasco, 11/9/1979.
You have an Justice Court warrant from Arcadia Biltmore Justice Court for one count of interfering with judicial proceedings, class 1 misdemeanor. You'll have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 2nd at 1 o'clock. The judge set your bond at $500. I'm going to give you a chance to go there. I'm going to release you. Do not miss court, because the next time you'll get picked up, you'll have a bigger bond.
Okay,
All right?
thank you.
Go to court. Brittany, come on in. Bella Faba to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Brittany Bachstein, 12/23/93.
You have a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of aggravated DUI with a passenger under the age of 15. That's a class 5 felony. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, March 31st at 8:30. I'm going to release you on your promise to go to court. No possessing or consuming of any alcohol, and you cannot drive a motor vehicle with anyone under the age of 18. Got it? Get your paperwork from the court staff. Bella, come on in, and Stephanie Shelton to the chair outside the courtroom. State your name and date of birth.
Caleb Pimpavon, 4/15/03.
You have a Justice Court new case for refusing to give a true name, class 2 misdemeanor. You're not entitled to a court-appointed lawyer. Your next hearing will be an arraignment, April 2nd, 9:30. I'm going to release you on your own promise to go to court. Don't miss it.
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork.
Thank you.
Stephanie, come on in, and then Daniel Johnson to the chair outside the courtroom.
Morning, Judge.
State your name and date of birth.
Stephanie Shelton, 2/2/1985.
You have a municipal court new case alleging one count of an assault. That's a misdemeanor. You'll have a lawyer appointed for you at your next hearing, which will be an arraignment, April 2nd at 9 a.m. I'm going to release you on your own promise to go to court. No contact with the alleged victim.
He does not live at that home anymore. Can
Okay.
I please go back to my own home?
Yeah,
Okay.
I've allowed you that. You just can't have any contact with him.
Yes, ma'am.
Get your paperwork. Daniel, come on in. Sir, state your name and date of birth.
Daniel Johnson, 8/1/1980.
All right, you have two matters. The first one is a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of possession of dangerous drugs. I did not find probable cause on that. Let me tell you why. They didn't test whatever the substance is. So I can't find probable cause now. But I'm appointing a lawyer to represent you. I'm going to give you another hearing. It's going to be a status conference March 31st at 8:30. May go, may not go, depending on whether they get this tested or not. But you have to be released because of that. Now, because the probation violation that they filed was based on that new charge, that I can't find probable cause either. But again, if they test the substance and it is a dangerous drug, this could then be resurrected. So I'm going to give you a court hearing on this. I'm going to appoint you a lawyer. That's going to be an arraignment March 24th at 8:30. But again, I just have to release you. But you do need to contact your probation officer within 72 hours. Okay. All right. Get your paperwork. Why is Cassandra Frazier a house call?
She was, bizarre behavior and free.
Cassandra Frazier, date of birth 3/29/2000. She has a Superior Court new case alleging one kind of possession of dangerous drugs, Class 4 felony, one kind of possession of drug paraphernalia, Class 6 felony, one kind of shoplifting, Class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent her. Next hearing will be a status conference March 21st at 8:30 because she's out on release pursuant to Arizona Criminal Rule of Procedure 4.2A7A. I have to set an evidentiary hearing for March 24th at 1:30. And also for the record on number 20, I reviewed, read, and considered a victim impact statement. Then why is Eric Hernandez a house call? Eric Hernandez, date of birth 6/3/98. He's got a Goodyear Municipal Court new case alleging one kind of an assault, Class 3 misdemeanor. He'll have a lawyer appointed for him at his next hearing, which will be an arraignment March 2nd at 1 o'clock. I'm going to release him on his own recognizance. Then Morris Johnson, why is he a house call?
You gotta keep away the GP, so we're gonna bring him.
Ooh, I didn't hear any of that.
You gotta keep away from GP, he's gonna be with other people.
He's what?
Keep away?
Keep away?
Yeah, he can't be with other people
Why?
that are GP. Maybe he has friends, co-defendants, I don't know, I'm not sure. That's what it had over there.
Ooh. I don't understand that. I mean, he had a co-defendant, but I get co-defendants in the courtroom all the time.
I'm not sure, maybe they were like talking, I can look it up for you if you want.
Yeah, they said he's in isolation, right?
I don't know, maybe it was a girl.
Yeah, but that shouldn't be, they're not co-defendants against each other.
No.
Mm-mm.
Hey, you got H9. Who was the keep away or what fire?
It was his baby mama. But the children were the subject of, it's not those two.
Jonathan Morris. But it doesn't say why or like anything else. Yeah, that's all I have. If somebody was in GP, there should put them in there. Okay, thank you. Okay, bye.
They what?
Maybe they're trying to kiss, I don't know.
Can they bring him in?
Yeah, you want to get it?
Yeah. And then why is Cassius Collins a house call?
He was combative and free.
Okay, Cassius Collins, date of birth 6/11/92, has three matters. First one is a surprise municipal court new case alleging one kind of criminal trespass in the first degree. It's a misdemeanor. Have a lawyer appointed for him at his next hearing, which will be an arraignment, March 25th at 1:30. Got a $50 cash bond. Then secondly, he's got 2 failures to appear. And these are on 2 probation violations. The first one is for dangerous drugs, class 4 felony, 1 count of resisting arrest, class 1 misdemeanor. He already has a court-appointed lawyer. His next hearing will be a status conference, March 26th at 8:30. Set a cash bond of $1,500. And the second one is for probation that he's on for a class 4 and a class 6 felony. He already has a court-appointed lawyer. His next hearing will be a status conference, March 26th at 8:30, and I've set a $1,500 cash bond. Mr. Johnson, come on in. All right, state your name and date of birth.
Morris Johnson, 82588.
All right, you have a Superior Court new case alleging 1 count of child abuse, class 4 felony, 1 count of endangering the life or health of a minor, class 1 misdemeanor. I've appointed a lawyer to represent you. Your next hearing will be a status conference, March 31st at 8:30. Going to release you to pretrial services supervision. You are to have no contact with the alleged victims. Understood?
Yes.
Said a yes? And no contact with your co-defendant.
Yes.
Get your paperwork from the court staff. You can get your paperwork over there.
You said no contact?
No contact.
Whenever they come in.
Thank you. You're welcome.